Hi everyone, my name is Abby. My research paper is titled The Impact of Gender Norms on Intimate Partner Violence Against Women in India. I picked this topic particularly because when I first began my research, I wanted to do something that involved women's rights and feminism, something along those lines. And I had done a research paper previously this semester on intimate partner violence in Kenya. And when I was doing my research, I found a lot of articles that involved the topic of intimate partner violence against women in India. There were many articles surrounding this topic, and I found myself wondering why it was such a popular topic and why it was something that so many people were researching, especially women in India were doing lots of research on this topic in particular. And I looked through a lot of the studies and found that there's kind of a pattern of different factors that impact these women in India. Through my research, I learned that the prevalence of intimate partner violence is very high in India, 32%. That would mean that for every 25 women in India, 8 women experience intimate partner violence in some shape or form. Intimate partner violence can be anything involving emotional, physical, or sexual abuse. And this is particularly looking at the cases among women. I didn't do any research about LGBTQIA individuals or men. I'm particularly looking at women in this study. So again, my question was why? Why is this so prevalent? Why does it seem like they have a much higher rate of intimate partner violence than other countries? I found several different factors that include their socioeconomic status, their religion, their education and employment status, their cultural norms, and their media exposure that had a higher effect on a certain group of women in these categories. So as far as socioeconomic status goes, women who are in lower socioeconomic status tend to face higher amounts of intimate partner violence. That was found in multiple studies that I looked through, and it was a very prevalent topic in probably 4 out of the 6 articles that I read. So upon further research, with education and employment status, I found that many women with a lower education status face more intimate partner violence than women with higher education status. And that was found in several different articles as well. Employment status was one that kind of tripped me up because I found that more women in India that are employed are facing intimate partner violence than women in India who are unemployed. The next topic was cultural norms. Prominent religion in India is Hindu, and a lot of the norms in that culture, in that religion, are for the women to be the homemakers, the caregivers, the cultural norms that are directed more towards women taking care of the kids and the family and the home. I included the topic of media exposure in my paper because I know that even going back to the book that we read about the Me Too movement, many movements happen through the media, including the Me Too movement, including the feminist movement. Many of those empowering women are actively online. I found in my studies that media exposure was a big topic of conversation because it was found that in several studies, women with no exposure to the media have a higher percentage of intimate partner violence. It was found that between 2015 and 2016, 20.4% of the women in the sample that I discussed had not been exposed to the media. They had a higher percentage of intimate partner violence than the women who were exposed to the media. And I think that directly correlates with my topic because exposure to the media can be so empowering for women and can help them find their voices. So those are kind of the main factors that I look at in the paper and discuss. The conclusion of my paper discusses some of the ways in which India can go about affecting positive change. How can their society improve their rates of intimate partner violence? How can they go about decreasing that 32%? And I discussed that exposing women to media is a very important role and can play a very important role in their lives as far as empowerment and feminism. I also went about saying that if we encourage more women in India to seek out a higher education, that could also help to affect positive change and impact their status of intimate partner violence. I also state in my section about how to affect positive change that cultural and religious beliefs should value characteristics of women without silencing them into submission. In my conclusion, I discuss why I believe that India has a higher rate of intimate partner violence than a lot of other countries. I also reiterate the factors that I discuss in the paper and go over some of the ways to improve upon that, like I did in my empowerment section. I also state that by promoting gender equality, empowering women, and fostering societal change, that we can help to create a better future for the women in India and help them to succeed. I'm looking for some feedback as far as what I should include. My paper was a little bit short, so it would be helpful to kind of hear some feedback. If there's anything that you guys think that I need to include or that you think I need to improve upon, that would be great. And thank you.